Om Jnana-Thamarannasya Jananjana Sadakaya Chaksurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namo Krishna Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Sevate Bhakti Vedanta Swami
Krishna Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namene Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavani Acharya Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava
Yat-kripa-dhaman bande Sirum-dinhainam Paramananda-madhavam Sri Chaitanya-swaram Hari Om Tat Sat. So, what would you like to hear tonight? A bit of Sarya?
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
No, it's Veda Sars and Jana Kirtananda's birthday today. As you know, all 3 times. And they go Harido. Guess who they said that? So he was saying that he didn't see the presentation on the Prabhupada song that I made a new Panihati. How many of you saw it?
Does everyone understand that? Maharaj, can you repeat that question? I don't think everyone understood that.
How many of you have heard my presentation on the Prabhupada song I wrote for the vyasa puja celebration? How many did not hear it?
I mentioned many times that.
Majority didn't hear, Maharaj.
How many did not hear it? How many want to hear it? Is Maharaj here?
Yes, he is.
Over here.
And yeah. Other side.
Is it? The other side.
Have your computer? Yeah, Laura? Are you on this computer? Should I speak like this a little slowly and try to enunciate each word?
Yes.
I'm better understood this way?
Yes.
Thank you. There was a song sung by Vasugos, one of the associates of Lord Chaitanya. He sang, Jadi Gora na hoito ki hoito. If there was no Gauranga, what would there be? And then he gave all the details, what actually Gaura Hari had given us. So I was inspired by that to compose a song, Jadi Prabhupada na hoito ki hoito. If there was no Prabhupada, what would there be? So we have here a few Bengalis. They can say whether the Bengali was alright or not.
Perfect.
Perfect.
So he went to get the thing was, what our life would be based on. Of course, some of the Indians have some culture of spiritual. Still, Prabhupada gave a new dimension. He gave Bhakti Yoga. But to us in the West, we have very little or nothing. And without Prabhupada, our lives, I hate to deal with it, would be totally disastrous. We'd simply be digging and gathering for satisfying the senses. So, I wanted to give some highlights what actually Prabhupada did. Of course, if we were to write all the things he did, there's no end, because he gave us so much. Gurukuls, farms, and so many things. but I just try to keep it to the most prominent things. So, whatever I could fit in 8 verses. So the song, it follows the melody of the Vasuva song. Of course, we can have other musicians who will give a new melody. That's all right. The idea of Korean and Bengali is that our songs are usually in Sanskrit or Bengali. So I know a little Bengali, and therefore Bengali was easier for me to write. Sanskrit I did. I couldn't do it. So also that people all over the world, they could sing it and they could translate it in their own languages. So I would have a meaning for everyone. Bengali, this is the Sadhuvasa. This is, it's almost like Sanskrit, a very similar, very simple, you can say grammar. So ready for Maharaj. Yeah. You have a projector, you can show, you can project the song. Yeah, the song written on your.
We'll get something to project it on.
I have a projector.
Screen.
Time and speak. So, the point was that Lord Chaitanya, he toured around India with Lord Nityananda, also went various places. So, they spread the Harinam Sankirtan. Lord Chaitanya in the Chaitanya Mongol predicted that after 500 years he would send a Sinapati Bhakta to the west, to the distant places where he didn't go. And that devotee would spread the chanting all over the world. And therefore the whole world would sing and chant his name and glories in every town and village. Pratigati Akshay, Jata Nagaradi Gram, Sarvacha Vachar Haite, worn out. Singing after the So, Prabhupada was ordered by his guru, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that he should go to the West and preach. So he had his lifetime in preparation. where he was ready to go. He took Lord Prabhupada at age 56 and sannyas at 59. And then he went to the West when he was something like 65. So, maybe later, he was 82 when he left the world. So he was here in the West 12 years. So he came here when he was 7 years old, 69, 7. So some of the other gurus, Sandy people, they said, why are you going to the West? Lord Chaitanya didn't mean the West. He meant a civilized world, India, where they have a spiritual culture. The West, they pick up spiritual life, impossible. Don't bother. But no, Lord Chaitanya said, every town and village of the whole world, and my Guru ordered me I should go, so I'll go. So I had this strong faith that Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda's mercy would come on us all. Simply if he would present the chanting of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and the process of Bhakti Yoga.
I can play the song audio. I'll play the audio. If Srila Prabhupada had not come, what would have happened? How could we have passed our lives? Who else would have distributed the unlimited mercy of Lord Nityananda and Lord Gauranga all over the world?
I spoke a bit on this, how Prabhupada put this mercy of Lord Nitai Gaur all over the world. What is the mercy of Nitai Gaur? What is their unparalleled mercy? You see, they give out what was not given before, pure love of Krishna, pure love of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, without considering who was qualified and who was not. Can you imagine? No one judging you. You're not qualified. You are. No one judging. Just giving out mercy. Whether you deserve it, you don't deserve it. Free mercy. More than millions of dollars. Something eternal. Something which life after life eternally will be with you. Awaken your love of Krishna, which can transfer you to the spiritual realm. How many would like that mercy of Lord Chaitanya? How many would get it without Prabhupada? How many would have it if Prabhupada had brought it to the West?
0.
Nobody will be here.
It's horrible for him.
পাশ্চাত্যেরও যত পাপী দুরাচারী শূন্যবাদী মায়াবাদী তাদেরই উদ্ধার করিবারে মন হেন গুণ দয়ানিধি।
Which other compassionate person would have endeavored to deliver the miscreants, sinful, impersonalistic and voyeuristic people in the West?
Prabhupada went to speak to gentlemen. He went also to speak to the general public. The principles of Bhakti Yoga include a very sattvic or pure goodness lifestyle, whereas the habits of the Westerners was usually meat-eating, intoxication, gambling, illicit sex. These are not considered to be very bad part of life. So the standard which Prabhupada wanted to achieve to get people to God in one night was very high. But he very patiently, he allowed, and by his giving prasad, he got the people to stop taking anandaj. By his presentation of Bhagavad Gita, he got people to understand how they're not the body, their spirit soul. It was something amazing that he achieved, because in the past no one had changed the people so much. So Prabhupada had done, because of his patience, his readiness, his compassion. Once one leader said, Prabhupada, sometimes I feel, sad how the people are slipping. They don't have any spiritual knowledge, and they're studying what to do. Sometimes I feel sad. You know what Prabhupada said? Do you know? Why sometimes? Why not all the time? Why are you not feeling sad all the time? So that was Srila Prabhupada's mood. He felt concerned about every one of you or any one of us. He wanted to help us. He wanted to see that we understood what was the real meaning of life. So he wanted to help us to achieve what was not achievable before.
Who else would have come to distribute Harinam to them? Who else would have come forward to transform them into civilized beings?
Prabhupada, when he arrived in New York, he saw the people have these problems, but are very interested in Krishna consciousness. They wrote back to India hear the potential preaching of giving Lord Chaitanya's teaching, very great. Please come. Please come and help me. There's a big soul here. How many came? How many? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 1. 0. 0. 0. How many zeros? So, yes, 0. Okay. Then he wrote, "Oh, please send me one drum, one Rajanga drum, that I can chant in kirtan." How many drums I sent?
No drums.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. None.
0.
0. Then he wrote, "Please send a cart house."
No karta.
Cart house, 60 rupees. $1. Not much. How many cart houses? One basket? One lorry full? One? None. So nothing, no help. He was all alone. So he had a broken bongo drum. And he used that to chant. And then he would chant. And people in Thompson Square Park, they went around him and chanted. They danced. So with a very pleasant mind, he stood there hanging out. One time, a devotee went to the 22 or the 26, I forget the other one, and Max's gift. He looked through the window and saw Prabhupada. He was lecturing. I don't, maybe he was down. He couldn't hear him, but he saw, oh, it must be a big crowd. So he went in. He looked, no one was there. No one. Prabhupada was lecturing, but no one was there. Prabhupada, no one's here. No, some of them are here. I don't want to, you know. So, Prabhupada, whether people came or not, he gave a class at the assigned time. And like that, he had so much patience, so much determination. Guys, now you can sing along.
Deshe deshe Hari Vigraha Seva Aroti Ratri Dine Ratha Jatra Di Mahotsav Sab Shikhai To Bone Jane Jodi Prabhupada Na Hoito Abhi Ki Hoito E Jivan Hoito Kise Jodi Prabhupada Na Hoito Abhi Ki Hoito E Jivan Hoito Kise.
Who else would have taught them how to worship the deity form of Lord Hari day and night with Arati Kirtana, and how to conduct the Ratha Yatra and other grand festivals?
Here they have Ravyata on the Panihati Dham. How many of you like the Ravyata? Rita Star still here? he complained that he didn't see the presentation. I wonder. So I joined maybe the first custom-made Rathayatra helping Jayananda Prabhu. And Jayananda Prabhu was kind enough on the Rathayatra day to shave me up. I decided I would try my best to be a devotee and practice Bhakti Yoga. After that I went to see Prabhupada, who was in Montreal, Canada. So all these festivals, like Prabhupada had said to make spiritual festivals. So here, this is New Panihati. So I was inspired to make Panihati festival based on Nityananda's Chiradoi Vatsa that he punished Raghunath Das with his giving of Seva to provide flat rice, yogurt, fruits, etc. to his associates and devotees. And the number of devotees then swelled high. Now, worshiping the installed deities in the temple is not a small thing. It's one of the processes of the 9 of Bhakti Yoga. It's the process called Archana. Many devotees have deities in their home, but these are practice deities. They're not formally installed. Now the deities in the temple are all installed by the prana pratishtha process, and the devotees who worship have their second initiation. Therefore, they worship the deities at a higher standard, and they use Panchayati mantras. So this was given by Om Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and he ended the stranglehold of the caste brothers who claimed they had a monopoly on the worship of Lord Chaitanya and Krishna, following the line of Lord Chaitanya. So Prabhupada gave the second initiation and Upadayam to Brahmins and non-Brahmins alike if they practiced sadhana bhakti for a certain period of time. They were considered pure enough, according to Vedic mantra, that they could chant, they could do the work of a Brahmana. So, all these things are big things actually. Those from India, they know how big this is. And there's an island called Sundeep in Bangladesh, and there all the Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas had led there and went to India. So the only one land was the one Sudra and a number of Lord and Sudras. So for weddings they'd have the Sudra do the wedding because they had no Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas. But he was the highest of their caste. But by Prabhupada's mercy, those who practice pure Vaishnavism are considered like Brahmas, and they can do the work of Brahmas. So all these places we have now are devotees who are qualified, and they're doing these samskaras for the congregation. So all this, it's a revolutionary thing actually. So all this was established by Prabhupada. Deity worship, festivals, Rath Yatras, Janmashtami. How many come here for Janmashtami? How many people? How many people come for Janmashtami?
Hundreds.
800,000.
800,000.
802,000. Very nice. And Bombay, 14 lakhs. 140, no, what do you do? 1,400,000. The lineup is for kilometers. So, even in India, a very big response for this festivals.
Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita contain the essence of the nectarian mellows of love of Godhead. Who else would have explained these scriptures so clearly and beautifully?
So, several items on this headache. Prabhupada had translated and written reports to the Gita Bhagavat and the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He also taught and inspired his followers and disciples to distribute these books. Also, he established regular classes, and he gave classes. I gave this example many times, that someone attended a Gita Gita Yagya of some Mayavadi sannyasi. So there's some Ishwar sannyasi had inquired how was the function when he knew that he had attended. So he said, oh, it was marvelous, super, wonderful, wonderful. And so then next to the sannyasi, oh, so what did the sannyasi say? What did he say? What did he say? I'm an ordinary grihastha. I'm a very damn. What did I understand what the great sannyasi speaks? I didn't understand anything he said. But it was wonderful. So that was the standard of Prabhupada. He would speak in such a way that majority of the people could understand what he was saying. He would give the message about Prabhupada, how he loved Krishna in such a simple, clear, yet erudite way that it could be understood by the mass of people. So he wanted to change. Once he was asked by one journalist, Prabhupada, what is your mission? He said, well, my mission is very simple. I want to change the way people think. That's maybe the most difficult thing. He wants to change the way we think, that we become God conscious or Krishna conscious. So this was Prabhupada's great mission, and you're all his followers. So this mission passes on to me, to you, and to all of his followers, his disciples, and grand disciples and others. So this is a great responsibility we have to give out this mercy to everyone. And our knowledge that we have in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahapuranam, and in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, they are incomparable. When once the Chaitanya Charitamrita was published in India, I gave a copy to the leading English paper in Calcutta. So they gave to a bishop to do the review. So he asked me for I gave the first book and the last book of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He read. He said no comment. We heard recently that there's a whole staff of bishops and cardinals and people in Vatican who chant Hare Krishna.
Who else would have tolerated all difficulties and distributed Harinam with a pleasant heart? Who would have given us the dhams such as Mayapur, Vrindavan and Jagannath Puri?
So what? I went several times with Srila Prabhupada to Orissa, and he also went to Jagannath Puri to try to find a land. But the land that the government wanted to give us was very dry and sandy. So he said he wanted some trees. Now we have a land, 25 acres, which has trees. So, well, Prabhupada tried, but he could not. We know that he developed a place in Mayapur and also in Vrindavan. So he said Mayapur is his place of worship and Vrindavan is his residence. Because he lived for many years at the Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan. He said Bhakti was his oldest. He was in India. That was where the registered society was. That where the society was registered. But he gave us these Dhams. I remember when I first came to Mayapur Dham, I thought, this place is non-foot from Vrindavan. Here Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, they walked. I bowed down, put my head on the mud at the river bank. So we are blessed to have these holy Dhams. Now, it says that who else would have tolerated all these difficulties, all these pains? Sometimes devotees, they complain, oh, I was stomach I have miscarriage, I have this, that, and I lose their enthusiasm to serve. What Prabhupada was robbed, beaten, he had heart attacks when he crossed the Atlantic Ocean. Krishna, I thought, I may die in the ship before I reach. And Krishna came in dream and told him, I'll cross you. And the Atlantic Ocean became very acidic. So, we know these things. I joined in 1968, so I didn't know what happened in 66 and 67. So one day, Ramananda was doing for us what happened in 1967, and he said Prabhupada had a brain stroke, and he was initially paralyzed from the neck down, completely. No movement in his hands or his legs. Only his mouth and eyes would move. So he was in the hospital, and he told his secretary, I don't want to stay in the hospital. I will go to Delhi. And no doctor would release him, because they don't release paralyzed patients. So the secretary snuck out, Srila Prabhupada from the back door, and took him to the temple visit. There he was sponged bath by the men, and he was changed every day. And you'd think that usually so paralyzed from neck down, they would rest. But Prabhupada, no. He was in a pleasant mood, and he was constantly telling the devotees how to practice Krishna consciousness, how to do the different services. He was giving out all himself, in spite of being paralyzed down. It don't work, so he was still singing. He was still giving. Who does that? Who does that? Who would have done that?
Prabhupada ki jai! Maharaj ki jai!
So people say, oh, you're a nice example, you're sick. I don't know, I'm sick. I'm not paralyzed from the neck down. I move like one day I hope I walk without any assistance.
You want to see your dance, Guru Maharaj.
Jai!
Big jumper.
I owe so much to Srila Prabhupada. If I can do anything, I want to serve him. I know.
Haribo.
teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu constitute the greatest and most auspicious treasure. Who else would have engaged us in constantly practicing and preaching it?
Srila Prabhupada, he circled the globe 14 times, but he sent his devotees different places. I was signed in Canada at first, and I had 2 weeks after taking initiation, I was named a temple president. And I was the 3rd president in Montreal and the 1st in Toronto. So the previous president, he went and established a center in Vancouver and Seattle. So like that, Hirananda Das Goswami, he was sent to South America and he learned to speak Spanish and Portuguese, and there he established. And he invited me down in 1980. So in 1980 I started to visit. In 1970 Prabhupada sent me to India. He sent other devotees to Africa. He sent devotees to Australia. He visited himself and then sent devotees. Like that, Lord Nityananda, when he established Krishna consciousness across Bengal, he would chant somewhere and then he would leave some associate and then go on. So like that, Prabhupada would sometimes go first, sometimes some disciple would go, with everything, and write him. And like that, he came to Malaysia, he came to different countries. The only country that didn't know him was Singapore. So, like this, Prabhupada taught the achar and the prachar. He taught how to practice and how to spread it, how to propagate. So Prabhupada ki jai.
Nitai Gaur are desiretries of love of Godhead, desiring a drop of their mercy. Jayapataka's heart incessantly takes shelter of your divine grace.
Srila Jayapataka Guru Maharaj ki jai! Jayapataka Guru Maharaj ki jai! Jayapataka Guru Maharaj ki jai!
This is like the pictures have the artist writers standing on the corner. I heard that on these poems, these songs, the writer usually writes his name in the last stanza. So I wanted to serve Prabhupada, I wanted to glorify Srila Prabhupada. That's the purpose of this song. I put my name, but if you like to take it out, I don't mind. I want my purpose is to walk by Prabhupada. So how much Prabhupada he wanted to give us all the chance to serve morning time. We should be eternally grateful to his doing grace. And I'm depending on all of you to carry on his vision here in Atlanta, wherever you are. I will. I heard that you used this song with it. I heard in this temple they use this song sometimes.
No.
Huh?
First time.
No, we had last year. Last time we heard. But that's the turn. Second time. Usually we have second time.
I didn't start telling me that the song was sung sometimes some programs.
Second time you sing it, explain.
First time you explained Panihati Dham.
No, second time was different. This is the second time Guru was explained here.
It was played during Prabhupada's disappearance.
Actually, I mentioned many times to do the song.
Huh?
I mentioned about this song many times to other devotees, but I am not authority.
So here there are many good singers who sing this song. I would hope, by the way, is the thing, are you alright?
Yeah.
Yes.
Very good.
Very good.
Of course, it's very good. There's a few people check it over.
Very good sadhu bhasha.
So, anyway, we wanted to highlight how much Prabhupada means to all the devotees. And so each line has a whole bunch of meanings that I have, but I wanted to share that with you. All those things could not be written, but so, and all of my secretaries, they heard me lecture on this many times. I think that each time something different.
Yes,
Because I'm not speaking by memorization, it's just my heart. So, Prabhupada wanted that each temple should also have its heritage and festivals. Well, this temple is very special because here Srila Prabhupada personally visited. When I first came here, there was a for sale sign outside the temple. And I asked, at that time the TP was local Ranjana. I said, why are you selling? And he said, this reason. We have our Tennessee farm years a year, whatever. This time farm, we're gonna, the new strategy is everyone's in the country. So I said, well, Prabhupada didn't want his temples to be sold. So after some time, that sign disappeared. So we would like to see everything of the congregation here. They did all the words. So as far as I know, this temple is up to date. So we have a great chant now to further develop and extend. And now, Panihati, actually the whole Bengal was got the mercy of Lord Nityananda. So from here, the whole USA, North America, for both Americas, South Americas, they should be able to also get the mercy of Nityananda. Are there any questions?
So when is your coming next, Guru Maharaj?
We're planning to be here for the Panihati Festival. Is that alright?
Yes!
Will you be here?
Yes!
We'll be here.
Guru Maharaj, there is no Panihati without you.
However, the Tagore, however, our dashes, however, devotees celebrate at Panihati.
You know all details about Panihati.
We remember that when a real Panihati in Calcutta used to take us and we organized the festivals over there. We remember our journey, we remember that all these festivals and hundreds of thousands of people used to come and join there, take prasadam there.
Then we have 1 or 2 favors.
Yeah, because here is a lot of different varieties of fruits are available. At that time, right here you create all these different ideas. Even right now, so many devotees have diabetes, so you create all these things. Now devotees all have diabetes. Nobody knows that. We do not know how to make diabetes. Cheap rice yogurt.
Okay, Guru Maharaj going to sleep. Ki?
Jai!